Let's go.
Hey, my name's Tammie. I see we have Carolyn with us. Hey, Carolyn. I am the Food Service Director here at Brunswick Senior Resources, and I've been asked today to come to supply and do a cooking show for you. So today we're going to talk about stress and how that affects your eating. So if you're like me and everybody else in the world right now, we are stressed. We're stressed with outside stuff. We're stressed on the inside. So when you're stressed, what do you think about it, and what do you eat? What do you go to that when you're stressed? If you're like me, you go to the Twix, the M&Ms, anything sweet. You go for the high carb pastas. You go for what I would call comfort foods. And there's a reason why you do that. The carbs release a chemical in your brain called serotonin, which is also called the happy gene, the happy chemical. So that's when you go through to your carby foods, it releases all of that. It releases insulin into your bloodstream, which takes the sugar, puts it in your cells, holds it there, and you can't use it for energy. So it makes you feel good in your head. It gives you happy feelings when you eat that comfort food. I can preach it all day, and I'm really bad to eat my comfort food. But today we're going to talk about things that you can do, things that you can eat that will curb that sugar and carb cravings. So instead of pastas, crackers, cookies, candy, we're going to give you some ideals, things that you can eat that will keep you full, keep your energy levels going, your metabolism better, overall health of your body while you're eating these. So with that being said, the first thing we're going to do is blueberries. Blueberries has antioxidants. It could help protect you from pre-cognitive diseases, and it also has a lot of cancer-fighting antioxidants in them. So pop them as a snack, freeze them, eat them. They're really good. They're almost like a little pop of candy when you eat them when they're frozen. Put them in some Greek yogurt, mix a little honey. You've got a great breakfast. Somehow or another, get you some blueberries in your diet. Very healthy. Any of the dark colored berries is very good for you. So blueberries is also full of fiber, so that will also help you keep us feeling full, and hopefully that'll keep you satisfied to keep you not from wanting the carbs. Another one is cucumbers. Cucumbers is full of water, full of fiber. They have vitamin C for your immune system, and they also have vitamin K for healthy bones and skin and blood. So take you some cucumbers to make a dip with Greek yogurt, chili powder, onion powder, some Worcestershire sauce, and mix it up and make your own dip. And that will be a healthy snack, and even when you're wanting to sit down and stick your hand in the bowl of M&Ms, eat the cucumbers instead. It may take you a while to get this habit going. I think Jillian was the one that said something. It takes 21 days to have a good habit, or to make a habit. So don't give up on it. If you don't do right the first time or two, don't give up on it. Keep trying to eat the healthier stuff. So cucumbers and blueberries, both very healthy, full of fiber, good stuff. Pistachios is another one. Pistachios is a very heart-healthy nut. And if you eat pistachios, get the ones that's in the shells. That way you can judge how many you've ate. When you look down and you see that big pile of shells, you know you've already ate 50 of them, so you need to stop. But I think for a serving of pistachios, I think it's actually like 49 nuts. So you can get a good serving of nuts, and not only are they heart healthy, you have to work at it. You have to work at it to get them out of that seed. That's going to slow you down eating, so you're not going to eat as much because you're not going to want to work as hard to get the nuts out of the seeds or out of the shells. So at pistachios, you can get them even flavored. I had just got a bag at Publix that was chili flavored. Same amount of fat, same amount of calories, nothing different, but they had a great taste to them. So if you don't like plain pistachios, try some of the flavors. They have dill pickle, chili, I don't know what all they had. So try some of those if you want to try to eat some of the pistachios. Get them in the shell, Work harder at eating them, you won't eat as many, and you can keep up with how many you eat. Black beans. Black beans is full of fiber, and with a half a cup of cooked beans, you're looking at 250 calories, 8 grams of protein, and less than a gram of fat. So a can of black beans it's going to fill you up. It's going to have no fats. It's going to be full of protein. Protein that has 8 grams of protein, 1 gram of fat, versus a piece of red meat that has 6 grams of fat. So that's a good alternative for any kind of a red meat thing that you might want to eat. So black beans is my last one, and we're going to do a quick recipe with black bean soup. I figured as cold as it's been, as rainy as it is, this would be a great one to do. You can do a big batch of it. You can put it in little freezer cups. You can freeze it, pull it out when you want it. You can, it'll keep in the refrigerator for a few days. So it'll be a good lasting meal. So I'm going to get started. Very easy. The meal is not expensive whatsoever. Black beans, pre-made salsa, and some onion. That's pretty much the gist of it, except for some seasonings. So we're going to get started. I'm working with a convection top oven, so it's a little temperamental sometimes. So if it don't work right the first time around, I may have to adjust on it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a tablespoon of oil in my pan. And I'm using a light tasting olive oil. You can use canola, you can use sunflower seed oil. Coconut oil is a great one to use. It doesn't, believe it or not, it doesn't taste like coconut or anything like that, so it's not going to turn your stuff tasting like coconut. But it's a high heat, and it's got a lot of good, healthy, heart stuff in the coconut. So coconut oil, I've been trying to use it more. I've got 1 yellow onion chopped. I'm going to put that down in that oil, and I'm going to saute that until it's kind of soft. With a tablespoon of chili powder. If you don't like it as hot, you can use less. If you want to make it hotter, you can use more. The seasonings are basically to taste. I'm going to put that down in there, and I'm going to put just a tad more. Cayenne pepper, chili powder, any of those spices helps with your metabolism, so that's a good thing too. I wish we had smell-o-vision, because the onions already is smelling awesome. It's going to take about 2 to 3 minutes for these to soften. Black beans, very versatile. You can do a black bean salsa, eat it with some whole wheat chips. If you do have to have some carbs, eat the whole wheat breads, not the processed carbs, the complex carbs, stuff that makes constant energy, constant good stuff in your body. The processed carbs, not good for you, not good for you. So try to stay away from the white pastas, the white breads, the white sugars. Try to eat as raw as you can, whole wheat. You'd be surprised at how good a whole wheat pasta is. And breads with the nuts and stuff in them, great. So try to go for that kind of stuff. If you feel like you do need to have some carbs, go for the complex, not the processed. I was told that nothing of white color was good for you, like flour, sugar, so I'm thinking snow's not good for us neither, so glad we don't have it. Alright, so these have got soft. I'm going to add 2 cans of rinsed black beans. I rinsed all the starch off of them. Starch is what makes it makes that thickness in that can. I'm going to add 3 cups of water. I'm going to use a half a cup of pre-made salsa. So see how easy this is. You just open up a cup of cans and you're done. I'm going to stir this stuff up together.
Smells good.
It does smell good. I'm going to use a teaspoon of cumin. Cumin is not a spicy spice. It gives it a smoky taste. It just gives it a real good deep flavor. So I like cumin. I love the smell of cumin and the taste of cumin. So don't be afraid to try that. You know, experiment with some of the flavors. I'm going to add a pinch of salt. If you don't want salt at all, you're more than welcome to leave it out. But I just put, and it's to taste, so I'm just putting a little. Salt, only thing salt does is it brings out the flavor of everything else. Salt is not a flavor herb. It's a seasoning that makes the flavor more brilliant, I guess would be a way of saying it. I want to turn this up so it can start boiling. I'm going to bring this to a boil. And once it comes to a boil, we're going to let it simmer for 10 minutes, just so everything can marry and it becomes good and done.
Okay, so while it's cooking, talk about the carbs in the black beans and the fiber and how your fiber cancels out your carbs.
Because it is a complex carb. And with this, right here's the nutrition facts for this. For 1 1/4 cups of the soup, it's got 206 calories, 10 grams of protein. So for this, you're going to get all this healthy stuff, all the healthy protein for what you could do a hamburger in. So this is going to be really good for you. The carbs, 33 carbs, but because it is a good carb, it's not the complex carbs, or the processed carbs. It's complex. It's a vegetable vegetable carb. It's going to slowly release into your body, and it's going to give you some energy. It's going to keep you full. It's not going to give you that sugar spike. It's not going to be like a piece of candy or a cracker does, where it hits your bloodstream and you're running around like a mouse all of a sudden, and then all of a sudden you just go, oh, I'm so tired. I'm tired. This is going to give you constant energy. It's going to keep you full. It's going to get you through the day, and it's going to keep your blood sugars level. So that's a good thing for this. Right now, you ought to smell the cumin and stuff. It smells so good. Again, I wish we could have smell-o-vision because it does smell really good. It's got 10 grams of fiber in this. So it's going to bulk you up, it's going to fill you up, it's going to keep you satisfied to where you're not wanting to go to the crackers and the cookies and stuff. If you slip up, give yourself grace though. You can't be so hard on yourself that if you do slip up and you go to the carbs, you can't go, oh, can't believe I've done that again. Give yourself some grace. Give yourself a little bit of, I'm sorry I did it, I'll do better next time. Don't be so rough on yourself, because it doesn't get you nowhere but some upset stomach. You gotta live for the day, and you gotta make sure that you're happy with what you're eating. So, and there's days, I'll tell you just like, there's days when candy's about all it's gonna do for me. I'm gonna have to have a piece of chocolate. If you have to do that, go for the dark chocolates. Do not go for the milks, because that is loaded with sugar and fat. Dark chocolate is good for your heart. It is good for your brain. It also releases the happy gene. or the happy chemical. So instead of going for all that stuff, keep you some dark chocolate, dip it in strawberries. That's a great little dessert. It satisfies both things that way. You got your fruit and your sugars. So there's another little thing. So this is starting to boil now. I've got the cumin in the back of my throat. It's like it's about to make me cough because I took a big in it. While it's sitting here, I'm going to go over some more of the nutrition facts. This has got 624 grams of potassium.
Nice.
And it's got 11.6 milligrams of magnesium. Both so good for sleep habits. It's so good. I have a lot of trouble with cramps at night in my legs. I have a lot of trouble with my feet wanting to cramp. Magnesium, potassium, very good for that. I get up and either eat a banana or I take a big spoonful of mustard, and believe it or not, it works. But both potassium and magnesium, both so good for your heart, for your brain, for your bones. Just one of those things that I can't say that you can't get enough, because I'm sure you can, but the more you can have, the better off you are. So this has come to a boil, so I'm going to cut down the temp, and I'm going to just let it simmer just for about 10 minutes. Once it simmers, I'm going to put about half of it into my blender, and I'm going to blend it. So it's not going to be like the thin broth, it's going to be thick, it's going to be hearty, it's going to be yummy. So we'll just give it just a few minutes.
Could you substitute the water for a broth?
You could.
Okay.
You could substitute for a low sodium broth. You could do a beef broth. You could do it a chicken broth. Do a vegetable broth.
Okay.
You could do a bone broth. I'm not crazy about the bone broth. To me, it does not have a good taste. But you could do any of the broths. Make sure it is low sodium to keep the sodium part of it down.
Okay.
Yeah, you could. I do a lot of cooking at my house at home with broth, and if I'm making mashed potatoes or green beans, instead of using water to boil my potatoes in or to use it, I'll use broth, and it gives it another layer of flavor.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to use as much cream and milk and butter because you've got that flavor in the broth. You could substitute, you can make this with any of the beans. It doesn't have to be a black bean. You could use navy beans, pinto beans, red kidney beans. You could use quite a few of the beans in this too. You don't have to stick with a black bean. I've always said a recipe is just a guideline. I'm forever taking a recipe, looking at it and go, I don't think I'd want that in it. I'll put this in it instead. And so you can substitute, you can play around with it. It's just a guideline to get you where you want to go. It's like a little bit of a road map to get you where you want to go at the end. So I'm always not completely following the recipe, tweaking it here and there. Like a box of macaroni and cheese, which is my downfall. Love me some mac and cheese. It just don't become a mac and cheese. I've got like 7 cheeses in it by the time I'm done, because that's me. So, but recipes, and this, like I said, this is so simple. It's cheap. I bought the Publix brand of black beans. I think they were 59 cents a can. I bought it was Aldi's where I bought this. I bought the salsa there. It's like $1.79 a can. So, you've got just a few dollars in this that you can eat on it for a couple of days. And it's healthy for you, and it's going to be warm, and it's going to be soothing to your belly. So that's what I like. I do like comfort foods, and I am a soup girl. I will tell you that in a heartbeat. I don't know if anybody's a Seinfeld person or not, but I'm a soup Nazi. I like my soups. No soup for you. Okay, so this is simmered. So what I say blend, once you start blending hot foods, they can almost explode. We don't want anybody to get hurt or burned, so we're going to put about that much in it, and I've got some right here left. I'm going to put this in the blender. I'm gonna try to put it in the blender. I don't know how the Food Network people do it. It always looks so easy. All right, so I'm gonna take this and I'm just gonna kind of set it to the side because I want the air and stuff, I want that heat to escape. So I'm gonna put it on low and I'm gonna just blend it up. That's all it took. I'm gonna pour that back into your pot and see how it got thick.
Smells good blended too.
It does. And what was kind of soupy has became, it's got some a little bit of thickness to it now. And it's ready to eat. So once you get it in your bowl, you can do all kinds of stuff with this. You can be kind of mean and add you a lot of cheddar cheese and some sour cream to it, which is your calcium. Sprinkle some, a few little tortillas on top of it if you want it. And you can do some cilantro, some fresh cilantro. If you've never tried cilantro fresh, it's one of those herbs that's very pungent. It's very strong, but once you start eating it, it is so good. So I am going to get a bowl. I'm going to pour some out. Excuse me while I cough. I've got cumin in the back of my throat. It's like getting chili powder up your nose or pepper. And just look, you've got all that blended up. And we are going to be mean. We're going to add some cheddar cheese to this. And we are going to use some sour cream on it. You have this leftover salsa that you bought. You could go ahead and dab a little bit of that on top of it. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's put sour cream, and I do use the light. I try to use fat-free or light. Not always the best, but cut your calories where you can. I'm gonna add a little bit of that. I'm gonna add a little bit of cheddar cheese. And I am a cheese person, and I love me some cheese. And I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of the salsa on top. And there is your soup. Stir it all together. If you wanted it to be thicker, you can blend more of it. And you could also make a slurry with some cornstarch and water and thicken it up some more. But this way you can dip your whole wheat sandwich in it if you want to. Spicy. You got your beans in there. Got the sour cream. It kind of deals with a little bit of a sauce or with the spice. It's already warming me up. I'm already hot because I was already nervous. All right. We will put if you want the recipe, we can, I'm going to give it to Jillian. She can have it out for you. We will be doing this again March the 3rd. And you'll just have to join in to see what we're going to do because it could be anything. It could be a healthy dessert. You don't know. I don't even know yet. I'm also doing one with shallot tomorrow. I'm not sure if it's going to be on YouTube or if it's going to be on Zoom, but it's going to be what to buy and what to eat through a pandemic. So I appreciate you joining in. I hope you enjoyed it. I wish you could smell it. And I hope you have a great day. Stay safe. Can't wait to see you. Hopefully it won't be too much longer, but stay safe. And we miss you guys. And thank you very much.
Thank you.